The world map may seem like a simple and accurate representation of our planet, but in reality, it is full of strange distortions, surprising facts, and fascinating anomalies. Maps are not perfect. They are interpretations of a three-dimensional globe projected onto a flat surface, and this process naturally creates distortions in size, shape, and distance. Beyond these technical limitations, political decisions, historical events, and geographical quirks have shaped the modern world map in unusual ways. From countries that appear much larger or smaller than they actually are, to borders that make little logical sense, the world map is filled with oddities that most people never notice. Today we will talk about top 10 strangest facts about the world map. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Greenland looks bigger than Africa, but isn't. One of the strangest and most misleading features of the world map comes from the Mercator projection. On most maps, Greenland appears almost as large as Africa. In reality, Africa is about 14 times larger than Greenland. This distortion occurs because the Mercator projection stretches land masses near the poles to preserve navigation accuracy. As a result, regions like Greenland, Canada, and Russia look enormous, while countries near the equator appear smaller than they truly are. This has even influenced global perception, making some regions seem more dominant or significant than they actually are in terms of landmass. 2. Russia spans 11 time zones. Russia is the largest country in the world, and one of its most unusual features is that it spans 11 different time zones. This means that when it is morning in one part of Russia, it can be late evening in another. This vast geographic spread highlights just how massive Russia is on the world map. It also creates administrative and logistical challenges, such as coordinating transportation, communication, and governance across such a wide area. Despite its size, Russia remains a unified country, which makes this time zone diversity even more fascinating. 3. There are countries inside countries. Some of the strangest features on the world map are enclaves. Countries or territories completely surrounded by another country. For example, Lesotho is entirely surrounded by South Africa. Similarly, Vatican City exists entirely within Rome. These unique geographical situations are rare but fascinating, often resulting from historical treaties and political agreements. They also create unique cultural and economic relationships between the enclave and the surrounding country. 4. Alaska is closer to Russia than to the U.S. mainland. Although Alaska is part of the United States, it is geographically closer to Russia than to the contiguous United States. At the narrowest point of the Bering Strait, the distance between Alaska and Russia is only about 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles. This surprising fact challenges our perception of geography and highlights how maps can sometimes distort our understanding of distance and proximity. In winter, when the strait freezes, it has even been theorized that one could potentially walk between the two continents. 5. The world map has no true center. Many people assume that the center of the world map represents the middle of the Earth, but this is purely a design choice. Different maps place different regions at the center depending on cultural and political perspectives. For example, Western maps often center on Europe or the Atlantic Ocean, while maps in Asia may center on the Pacific Ocean. This means that the world map is not just a scientific tool, but also a reflection of human perspective and bias. The idea of a center can influence how people view global importance and relationships between countries. 6. Antarctica is the most mysterious continent. Antarctica appears as a massive white landmass at the bottom of most maps, but its true size and shape are often distorted. It is actually larger than Europe and almost twice the size of Australia. However, depending on the map projection, Antarctica can appear stretched or exaggerated. It is also unique because it has no permanent population and is governed by international agreements. Beneath its thick ice sheets lie mountains, lakes, and possibly valuable natural resources, making it one of the least explored and most intriguing places on Earth. 7. Chile is one of the longest countries in the world. Chile looks like a narrow strip along the western edge of South America, but it is one of the longest countries in the world from north to south. It stretches over 4,300 kilometers, 2,670 miles, while being extremely narrow. This unusual shape results from natural geographical boundaries, including the Andes Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Because of its length, Chile experiences a wide range of climates, from deserts in the north to glaciers in the south, all within the same country. 8. Africa is bigger than you think. Due to projection distortions, Africa is often underestimated in size. In reality, it is so large that it can fit several major countries within its borders, including the United States, China, India, and much of Europe combined. This misunderstanding has influenced global perception for centuries, often downplaying Africa's true scale and importance. In reality, Africa is not only huge in size, but also incredibly diverse in culture, geography, and resources. 9. Some borders are perfectly straight lines. While many borders follow natural features like rivers and mountains, others are perfectly straight lines drawn on maps. These are especially common in Africa and parts of the Middle East, where colonial powers divided territories without considering ethnic or cultural boundaries. These artificial borders often led to long-term conflicts and political instability. They serve as a reminder that maps are not just geographical tools, but also products of historical decisions that continue to affect millions of lives. 10. There's a place where four countries nearly meet. One of the most fascinating features on the world map is a near quadripoint, a point where four countries come extremely close to meeting. A famous example involves Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Although they do not perfectly meet at a single point due to slight border separations, the location is still considered one of the rarest geographical arrangements. It highlights how complex and unusual political boundaries can be. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.